Hi, I'm Dan Lauren, and you're listening to the Football Journeys podcast.
Indeed, you are listening to the Football Journeys podcast, and I don't want you to think that we're milking the fact that Diane recorded that for us, but well, we are milking it. This is a short update podcast for you. We just want to tell you where we are before everyone goes away and has the weirdest Christmas on record. We've broadcast 8 episodes and a bonus episode so far. We've been absolutely knocked sideways by the response to it. The amount of positivity we've received both on social media and in messages. We've had ex-academy players, ex-professional players reaching out to us. And we've had a lot of people encouraging us to do more and more, do further series, etc. We've been blown away by it. We're very grateful to people for when they like, subscribe, retweet, post 5-star ratings on Apple is absolutely massive for us. Anything that can promote the pod helps us to reach a larger audience and be more and more successful in what we set out to achieve. And in terms of what we set out to achieve, our intention was to tell those stories that are lesser told. We all hear the stories about the winners, those that win the Premier League, the Champions League and everything else. And that's why we chose Liverpool, the current Premier League champions and recent Champions League winners. It was really important for us to tell the stories of those boys who are supremely talented, extraordinarily hardworking and frankly are a credit to themselves, their families and Liverpool Football Club. We felt as though they were fascinating stories. The lads told their stories so brilliantly and articulately, and we have been absolutely blown away, as have the lads themselves, by the positive response we've got from everyone. We completely self-funded the pod today. I'm sure many of you will have noticed that on all the YouTube videos that we posted, on all the podcasts, no matter how you listen to it, there's been absolutely no advertising. We would love to keep it to no advertising, but the fact is we made it very deliberate that in Series 1, if you are listening to a podcast presented by two blokes who you may not have heard of, with the guests being young football players who did not make it to the top, who are not Mo Salah, Sadio Mane, Trent Alexander-Arnold, that if we're trying to sell you a beer subscription or a digital TV package, you might turn off instantly. We wanted to earn our credibility with you as listeners and for people on social media, and that's what we intended to do. So it's not going to surprise anyone to hear that we are now at this point asking for a little bit of help from our listeners. So we do need to get in a bit of funding. It's not because we intend to make any profit from this podcast. It's never been our intention and won't ever be. But in completely self-funding, we've obviously lost a decent chunk of cash on this, and we need to be able to fund more episodes. We need to be able to fund rental of equipment, travel expenses, and also we pay the people who work with us. And the best example is the excellent artwork that we've had from Jay Northall, talented young artist from the south of Wales at Fraser Knows. We've paid him for his work, and we hope that others will reach out to him too and get some illustrations done by him. So we need to be able to fund that, and we've been encouraged by so many people out there to do more and more content and to do more series, and that's our intention. So the main thing that we want to ask you, well, in actual fact, I'll ask Darius Waldron, one of our previous guests, to tell you what it is that we want to do.
To support the podcast, please visit patreon.com/footballjourneys.
Thank you, Darius. And as Darius says, yes, we've set up a Patreon, patreon.com/footballjourneys. We've only set up one tier membership, £2 a month. We're asking listeners, look, if you've enjoyed the podcast, if it's been your Thursday morning fix, if it's the podcast that you've really, really enjoyed, or one of the podcasts that you really enjoy, we're asking, could you just do a little bit to support us on that? We're not just asking that for you to do that out of the kindness of your heart. We are going to be providing anyone that supports us through Patreon with some exclusive access. So that will be the continuation of our free content for any Patreon subscribers, some exclusive content. We have some plans for that. And early access, as I mentioned, we are going to be having some further episodes from Series 1, which will be coming out in the new year, and Patreon subscribers will get the earliest access to that possible. We're also going to do some prize draws. We're hoping to have some signed memorabilia, perhaps signed shirts from some of the lads that we've spoken to, and the first prize draw will be at the end of January. Anyone that's signed up by the end of January will be put into a prize draw to win some bespoke artwork from Jay Northall, the young lad, the brilliant young graphic designer that we do work with. The winner of that prize draw will receive some bespoke artwork which mirrors the artwork we use for every episode. So Jay produces these brilliant pieces of work which set out the interviewee during his career. Jay will do that for you bespoke. It could either be one of your favourite players, it could be of you, it could be of a family member, maybe a young family member who's a big football fan or an aspiring football player. The winner will get that bespoke artwork delivered to them. So please do come and see us on patreon.com/footballjourneys. If you can support us, do. There's absolutely no obligation, but it really will mean the world to us. The more funding we can get in, the more ability we have to produce some good quality content, both in the continuation of Series 1 and then in Series 2, which we do plan. Please do continue visiting us on social media. That the more numbers we get on social media in terms of likes, reposts, retweets, comments, etc., it bolsters our numbers. It brings us to the attention of more and more people, which creates more listeners, which means that the podcast becomes more and more successful. We love receiving messages from people. We've received so many positive messages, and in fact we received an email, quite a few emails and messages about future series, and in fact one of the suggestions that we have is one that we're exploring for Series 2. We're very excited about the prospects of that. So that's it from us, and I guess that's it from us for 2020, which we're not going to pretend was a great year. It's not been a good year for anyone. 2020 has been awful, and a number of people have struggled both with illness and in terms of the financial impact on everybody in this country and in the world. But please do try and relax during this Christmas period. Try and get together with the family that you're allowed to, and have a very Merry Christmas from all of us here at Football Journeys. And I will leave you with the words of one of our favourite football players.
I'm Connor Cody, and you're listening to the Football Journeys podcast.